What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. All right. Well, the dust has settled a little bit. Been a couple days. Apparently, there was an incident in Ironwood where the Southern Raza got into it with the correctional staff. I don't know what's being said as far as what happened, what it was over. I did hear that supposedly, I guess somebody was, a cell was being searched. Somebody was being escorted. During the escort, somebody got slammed. And I guess it was on the yard, and the Raza didn't like it. And so there was some retaliation. And so I want to share with you one of my experiences. And then I'd like to also try to be, as always, I try to be a voice of reason from personal experience. Having served over 2 decades, almost a quarter century in prison on the last term, I kind of have an understanding of how things work in there. I know that, right now the Southern Raza, for sure, statewide lockdown, especially like level 3s and 4s probably. I don't know if they locked every faction down, every group, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. Now let me get into a story first, and then we'll hopefully I'll work my way back around. That's the plan. So in 2001, I was released from Pelican Bay SHU, and I went to C facility in New Folsom. And when I got there, I had already been to New Folsom before. I had been on B facility. And I get to C facility, and an incident had just occurred. Like, I guess just days prior to me arriving. May have even been while I was in orientation. I don't recall. But an incident occurred on B facility between the Southern Raza and the COs. And it happened in the chow hall, right? And that was the second time that type of incident had occurred. And that was the last time. Like, we never ate in the chow hall because of that. They were like, don't let any convicts go to the chow hall self-feeding, right? But before I get ahead of myself, I get there and I hear the section door open. So, as everybody knows, you hear that section door open, get on your feet. If not you, your cellie. One of you has to hit the door, find out what is that door opening for. So I get up and I see it's the squad. It's the ISU. Everybody always calls them the IGIs. They're not IGIs. They're ISU. And the ISU's coming in. The ones with the black badges, right? I look and I recognize it's a big ass white guy. His name was Tin Seth. And I knew him from when I had been on B facility before. He wasn't part of the security squad. He wasn't part of ISU. He was just a regular CO at the time. Now he's on the squad, right? So he comes in, I look, and sure enough, he looks towards my cell. So I tell my cell, hey, they're coming over here. So he comes to the door and he's like, hey man, can I pull you out? And I said, nah, what's up? What do you got to talk about? I go, you can talk right here on the door. Because you want to have everybody here, your Sally and everybody else here, what's going on, right? And you got to remember, I had just came from Pelican Bay SHU. I had been told that I was close to being validated. They say that shit all the time to people, right? So Ten Seth comes to the door and he's like, hey man, there was an incident over there on B facility. and he said, some Southerners stabbed some COs. Now I was like, all right. And he goes, I want to talk to you about that, this and that. And I was like, hey, I'm on C facility. I don't know nothing about B facility. And he goes, well, we're just wondering. And there's that famous interview on YouTube. And it's one of the legends. The cops are talking to him. And the cop says, well, cops are off limits. And the legend says, who said they're off limits? And that interview, I don't want to get into, but because of that, I think it was around that time, it was because of that, the tin set says, well, so and so, and he named that guy, and he said that he basically said, he insinuated that there's a green light on cops. And I said, I don't know who that person is that you're asking me about. I've never heard of him. You have to do that, right? So I'm like, I don't know who you're talking about, eh? Like I don't know anybody. I'm right here. I'm doing my time. And he goes, well, we're just trying to figure out, if there's a green light, and if this is what they do. They always try to fish, and so I said, look, this is what I'm going to do for you. I said, how many Southerners were in that chow hall? And he said, whatever number, like 30 or whatever it was, 20, whatever the number was, right? I said, how many knives were found? And I know for a fact there was 2, but I think he might have said 3, right? I said, how the Southern Raza moves. So if there was a green light and there was 20 Raza in there, why was there only 3 knives? If there was a green light, there would be 20 knives. However many Mexicans are in there, that's how many knives you're going to find, if not a couple extra. I said, so from me sitting right here in my cell, not knowing nothing, but knowing how the program runs in here, it sounds to me like a CO disrespected somebody and he got dealt with. Whatever happened after that, I don't know nothing about it, but I can just imagine somebody got disrespected on the spot and they handled it. So they bounce, and I'm telling myself, like, man, what the fuck, man? Just got here and there's already heat on us, right? That's all I'm caring about. Like, I just got here. How is there fucking heat on us already? Sure enough, as always happens, we get word why that incident occurred, because we need to know, is it something that we have to follow suit on? But we know just the way it went down, that was obviously not something planned for. So when word comes around, what happened was one of the Southerners was he had got his tray and he was walking towards the table he had to go sit at. As he was on his way over there, another Southerner asked him, hey, you want another milk, an extra milk? And he was like, yeah, shoot it, homie. So he like handed his tray towards him, about to put the milk on the tray. And when he went to keep walking, a CO went up to him and snatched the milk off his tray all crazy. He's like, wait, what the fuck you think you're doing? As soon as he, like, that's as far as he got. The Raza dropped his fucking tray, pulled out his strap, and started stabbing that cop for disrespecting him. The CO's partner jumped in. The Raza Sally pulled out his strap, and he starts booking that guy. Another CO tried to respond. A table jumped up. CO started coming through the doors to break it up. All the Southerners got up. It stemmed from a CO disrespecting a Southerner, right? So when I hear about this incident, me knowing how the program runs in prison, everyone who knows Raza in prison, they don't go after Judas. But everyone, whether you're wearing blue or green, has to be respectful in their interactions. Doesn't matter if you're wearing green. If you disrespect someone, that's a personal issue. What I'm wondering is, and I'm not even going to say what I'm wondering. I'm going to say this. I'm going to help. I'm going to give CDC a heads up. They're not going to listen to nobody. Of course not. But when I was in prison, when I was escorted anywhere, and I'd say when I was in Pelican Bay Shoe, when I was escorted, when they cuff you up and they open your cell door, you back out. Once you're out of the cell, you turn around and you head in the direction, whatever they told. If they tell you, hey, take it out, you know, if you're going to medical, wherever, you know where the fuck you got to go. The COs would let you walk. They would walk behind, baton out, whatever, ready for whatever. When I went to Corcoran Shoe, I was stuck in Corcoran Shoe for 4 months on a layover once on my way back to Pelican Bay Shoe. And I'm going to say right now, in my experience, Corcoran Shoe was the pettiest prison I had ever been in my life. The first time they cracked us out for yard. You know, they come and they cuff me and my Sally up. Boom, we cuff up. The door opens. I come out first. And as I turn around to walk, the CO put his hand on my left bicep. He's on my left side. He grabbed my left bicep. And I'm cuffed up like this. I yanked my arm away from myself. What the fuck is wrong with you? I had never, under any escort, had my arm grabbed or my wrist. And not one part of my body since I had been in prison did a CO ever put his hand on me to escort me. Men in there don't want any man touching them, whether you're wearing green or blue. So when I snatched my arm, he was like, hey man, this is how we do things in Cork. And I was like, listen, all you got to do is tell me where to go. And I promise you I can get there. You know, you don't need to, I don't need nobody steering the wheel. I know how to walk there. And he's like, hey, that's just the way things are done here. And then I see other vatos getting escorted. They're being escorted that way. I don't want to bring heat to the pad, but it fucking annoyed me, right? Now, I say that to say this. If during escort, that CO was touching somebody who's probably already fucking really upset at whatever happened, who knows? A way to alleviate that is show that man the respect of telling him, hey, head out, we're going to the program office. Or head out, we're going to medical. Wherever. Head out, we're going to the day room. Wherever, just tell that man and let him walk. You know, there's a new breed of COs. Like when I came in, there was guards. You know, and this is going to sound crazy, but they would come in. They would unlock the closet for the cleaning supplies. They would go into their office. They would close the door, turn off the light, and go to sleep. See, they understood the cop in the tower was going to open the cell doors for the porters to come out. The prison runs itself. They were there to pick up the bodies. Somebody gets whacked, they're there to cuff up whoever the bad guy is and put the other guy in the gurney. They knew they weren't crime fighters. They were not cops. They weren't detectives. The guys on the squad, let them go and search for the dope dealers. Search for knives or whatever, weapon stock. But the guards came in, they did their 8 and they hit the gate. That's what they used to say. I'm going to do my 8 and hit the gate. Along the lines, or after a time, a new breed of CO started coming in. A little more lippy, a little more gung-ho. They talking about they're fighting crime. No, you're a babysitter. You're a very high-paid security guard. Like, you make great money in a very violent, dangerous place, and you'll never have a problem as long as you let men be men. You can't stop what they're going to do. I remember seeing the new breed of COs coming in, and I remember thinking to myself, vatos are going to catch life sentences on these dudes. And dudes did. So I don't know what happened in Ironwood. I don't know what triggered the whole thing other than this. Somebody felt disrespected and they moved. People got to understand it does not and will never, ever matter if you wear blue or you wear green. When you're dealing with certain people, they want their respect. And if they feel they were personally disrespected, or, you know, I don't know if this dude was being escorted and the CO was getting mouthy with them. The CO took him down for no, I don't know. But whoever was around there, they know this. Hitting cops is bad for business in there. The whole state is locked down now. You don't want to be the guy who jumped the gun. Because listen, right now the CDC is investigating what really occurred. The blue side's doing the same exact thing. The group involved is going over, they're running their investigation. What happened? Who was being escorted? Who was escorting him? What happened during the escort? Or whatever the incident was. If something went wrong on the convict side, it will be corrected internally. That's a fact, and everybody knows that. Business has shut down. If it was a CO's fault, let me tell you something. Let me tell you how weird it is, how weird the world is in there. Again, I don't know what happened, what if the guy was slammed, if he was slammed on his face, maybe, I mean, it's one thing to take somebody down, it's another thing to disrespect somebody, especially in front of rival factions. You don't disrespect somebody or try to humiliate anybody. Maybe that's what somebody felt happened, but I'm going to tell you this. Going back to the incident in New Folsom, that dumbass CO that snatched a milk off of somebody's tray when he could have just walked over and said, hey, look, you can't be passing stuff in the chow hall, man. That's so fucking petty. So petty. But he could have said that. And the guy would have probably, you're tripping on that shit? And gave the milk back. Right? But no, this dude walked over and snatched the milk. Got himself stabbed. Got his partner stabbed. Got a bunch of COs beat up. Who was wrong in that? Who escalated the situation? Well, you know what? They gave a fucking Medal of Honor. Whatever the CO's Medal of Honor type shit is, they gave him that for that. Now, let's go back to this Ironwood incident. When the CDC does their investigation, if the CO was wrong, I don't know what happened. If he was wrong, believe he won't get dealt with the way the convicts deal with their own. I remember when, in the 90s, when COs would straight up say, I like the way you guys discipline your people. I wish we could do that with the COs. If I fucking call one of my fucking coworkers out, they'll go and snitch on me. That's what they used to say. If I call one of them out in the parking lot, they'll go fucking snitch on me. I can't even fucking do that. We can't even discipline our own. There were certain COs, mostly all of them in 5 Block. Bess, Wolf, and I can't remember the third one. I want to say Cook or Cox. Pariahs. None of the other COs wanted to talk to them. Wolf got his ass beat up several times while I was there. His family's all in Sacramento, all administration, all politicians. So he thought he could do whatever he wanted, say whatever he wanted, and get his ass fucking whooped. And put convicts who are doing enough time already in a position to have to do more. It's fucked up that today's Friday. You have certain families They don't have the means to go and visit their son or their husband or their father on a regular basis. And they had everything planned out for this weekend. They can't go and see their loved one. And I'm not talking about just in Ironwood. I'm talking about in other prisons. They can't go and see their loved one. So I don't know I don't know what happened. I hope there's not a knee-jerk reaction. I know for a fact that the CDC would like to slam everybody down again. I don't see that. I don't agree with it. I don't. Excuse me. I don't agree with the whole lock them up and throw away the key. What I do believe in is transparency. As far as you don't got to be transparent with the public while the guards do, convicts don't. But if a CO was wrong, set an example. Because if the convict was wrong, any of the convicts, the first ones to attack, if they were wrong, believe the example will be set. If nobody gets whacked over this, then they know they were in the right. And if no CO gets disciplined, then it's just another time where they awarded somebody and they're encouraging more fuckery. No matter what, it's people out here are like, oh shit, this happened or that happened. Like this, fuck, man, this thing in Ironwood. It's just another incident to them in there. They're just waiting. What we got, about 2 weeks? Be off lockdown in 2 weeks. It's another day. Staff assaults happen. It's rare when it's Raza that do it because of the whole business thing. You can't, you treat them. Usually if it's something like that, it's a one-on-one, or maybe, it can escalate fast, like anything. But I just hope everybody's all right. They say 200 people were involved. I don't believe that. I don't remember them ever even allowing, after the Pelican Bay riot, allowing 200 people on the yard at a time. I remember, but then that's a level 4. This is a level 3. But I remember they had knocked it all the way down to 120 was gonna be the max on the yard, around that number, 120. Or maybe it was 140, because they would do one whole building and then one section out of another building, something like that. But it's just another day in there, man. It's another unfortunate day. And the reason why I mentioned that 200 thing, because it's like they always have to make it greater than what it is. It's bad enough. The truth is bad enough. How many people were really there? I just hope that if the CO was wrong, man, that something comes of it. I'm telling you, don't escort nobody. Don't escort nobody by putting your hands on them, on their wrist, on their shoulder, on their. Let them walk like men, and treat them like men as they're under escort. I wonder how much. I wonder how many years in, and I'm not trying to blame the CO because I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. I'm thinking as I'm talking, guys. You guys know I don't write nothing down. It all comes off the dome and it comes from my heart. I really, I've said it before and I haven't said it in a while. I remember everybody that I left behind, and I hear about those that get out, and I still remember those that are still there. And there were people that, prison being prison, they had to get off. when the incident occurred, they had to get off. And what would have happened to them now? Depending on the reports that the cops write up, depending on what the DA does, depending on what cases the DA picks up. That's a level 3. You're going to have dudes that could have a date in the next year that could have got fucked off. Not everybody's a lifer. It's about, I think it's under 30%. I think it's about 20-something% that are lifers in the CDC. Anyways, that's my video for the day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out.